18, you see him here. Happy to have you along on the NFHS network. Wesley Shields will get things started for Cypress Ranch. He's batting .328. He is a senior. First pitch, strike on the outside corner. Good crowd on hand for this one. San Antonio, about 2 hours away from Round Rock, where Reagan High School is located. Cy Ranch, the greater Houston area, about 3 hours away. And strike two on the breaking ball. Cal Carver comes in with an 11-1 record. The assistant coaches for Chance Chapman, Ben Woodchick, and Tate Damasco. This one's outside for ball one. A ball and two strikes. Corey Cephas, a head coach, used to be over at Langham Creek. More on that in a moment. Jake Lenart is over at first. He's also the pitching coach, but the assistant coach at first, Jake Leonhardt. Also Marcus Mendoza and Zach Herbst. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Wesley Shields, the shortstop. This one swung on and hit towards left. It's hooking foul, and it is barely foul. So almost a leadoff home run from Wesley Shields. Wow, he got a good chunk of that ball. But Cal Carver says no harm, no foul. Brian Goddard is the superintendent at Reagan. The principals, Brenda Shelton and Karen Funk, the athletic director. By the way, Reagan finished number 2 in the THS BCA regular season poll. They're the District 26 4A and your district champs. Cy Ranch did not win their district. They were the runner-up in District 17 6A, but eliminated Cy Fair to gain some revenge. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's a number 2 Shields in the 3-2 pitch. Outside for ball 4. So Shields is on with a walk. He's dangerous when he gets on base. He's got great speed. Scotty Scott now bats. He's a .302 hitter, another senior. First 3 batters here for Cy Ranch, all seniors. Mustangs, 32, 8, and 2. Corey Cephas used to be the coach at Langham Creek back in 2012. They won the district. Cy Ranch finished second. And what do you know? They went on to win state. He's hoping for a repeat this year. Ball high to Scotty Scott. Again, Cal Carver, 11-1 on the season. Reagan defeated Vandegrift twice, Northside Clark in a 1-game series, swept Lake Travis, took 2 out of 3 from Laredo Alexander, and then swept Churchill out of San Antonio to get to the state Final Four. And there's a strike, a ball and a strike. Cypress Ranch beat Houston Heights 10-4, then swept Fort Bend Ridge Point, swept Katy Tompkins, took 2 out of 3 from Humble, Atascocita, and then 2 out of 3 from Cy Fair. Throw over to first, not in time. And the sun will be a factor for the first baseman, and I can assure you for the right fielder. That's usually the case here in the games that start around 7. Wesley Shields doing a little bit of yard work, if you will, kind of getting things smoothed out for himself as he takes a pretty big lead over at first. Carver with that right foot aiming towards first, and this one's bunted to the third baseman. Over to first. Brown to Martin for the out. 1 out, sacrifice good. Shields moves over to second. That'll bring up Colton Kauser. Look at this bunt here. It was kind of high. And you see Brown come up and make the big play. Nice throw over to first by Hilton Brown. His little brother, by the way, is the bat boy for Reagan. He'll take batting practice and field. That's a great opportunity. Any of you youngsters out there, take advantage of your brother being on the varsity. Runner at second now. First pitch to Colton Kauser is outside for a ball. Kauser heading to Sam Houston State University. He's a senior, batting .414. I remember in 2012 when Cy Ranch won the championship. It was on one of the weirdest plays. More on that in a moment. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-0. Basically, it was a rundown, but they turned a double play on the rundown. Caught a man leaning off of second base and then ran down the runner at first and a run down, and took a while, but won the championship on that play. 2-0 pitch to Cowser. Swung on, hit towards center. Morrow makes the dive, cannot come up with it. Shields is going to come all the way around to score. And Cowser likely to be credited with a double here. Let's look at it one more time. Morrow stretching out here like Superman, trying to make the diving catch, and just could not quite get to it. Without a doubt a double as it heads to the wall. And it's 1-0 Cy Ranch. Shields scoring on the play. Cowser on at second. That'll bring up Jared Alvarez Lopez, the catcher. A .359 hitter. Runner in scoring position here for Cy Ranch. Leading 1-0. Jared Alvarez Lopez at the plate. Carver steps off the rubber, now back on. Here in the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, 6A semifinals. Southlake Carroll beat the Woodlands in a thrilling game, 3-1. Pickoff attempt over at second, and it gets by the second baseman. And Staley picks it up, brings it back in, but not before the runner moves over to third. So Cowser is on at third now. Not the start Reagan wanted. So the failed pickoff attempt. The error on the pitcher. Cal Carver. And there's a strike to Jared Alvarez Lopez, the catcher. Again, .359 hitter. Ty Williams on deck. He's a senior, batting .308, followed by Matt Thompson, the pitcher, a junior, .301. Incidentally, Ty Madden, one of the pitchers for Cy Ranch, drafted in the June draft here, Major League Baseball draft. Good for him. But hasn't quite decided if he's going to join the Kansas City Royals or maybe go to the University of Texas. He's verbally committed to Texas. 0-2 pitch to Jared Alvarez Lopez with 1 out. Couldn't paint the corner there. Outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. Cowser at third. And there's strike 3. Kind of froze Jared Alvarez Lopez there for the strikeout looking. Strikeout number 1 for Cal Carver. That'll bring up Ty Williams. Senior, .308. 2 outs. Carver's pitch to Williams. A little bit high, ball 1. By the way, Morrow, who plays center, his twin brother was Zach Morrow, played on that first team for Reagan in 2014. This one's popped back foul. Zach was also a leadoff hitter at Oklahoma Christian. Twin brother, by the way, Tristan Morrow, played football over at Reagan. One ball, 1 strike. Ty Williams at the plate, runner on third. Cy Ranch leading 1-0. High, ball 2. Carver, a left-handed pitcher. Most consistent pitcher of the last 2 years, 11 wins last year. This one's high. "27 total wins, setting a school record. Headed to Wichita State, Cal Carver is. Line drive to the third baseman, and Brown says, "Look what I found." Nice catch. As the third baseman hauls that one in, Hilton Brown. Hotel Hilton, we call him. How about that play? Up high for the catch. But not before Cy Ranch picks up a run on a hit through a top of the first, with Cy Ranch leading 1-0. San Antonio Reagan coming to bat here on the NFHS Network. Seth Morrow will get things started here in the bottom of the first inning for Reagan. He's a senior, 5'11", 170 pounds, 4-year varsity starter. Morrow batting around 500 in the postseason alone, 323 overall this year, and he swings at strike one. Matt Thompson headed to Texas A&M with a verbal commitment, 5-0 on the hill for Cy Ranch. Where's number 22? 0-1 pitch, there's strike two. Morrow started the season batting leadoff, was moved to second in the lineup, then all the way down to sixth. But it's been on fire, is now back in the leadoff spot, but he strikes out swinging here for out number one. Porter Brown will come up now. Porter Brown wearing number 24. He can absolutely fly if he can get on base. 28 stolen bases, 56 in the last 2 years. There's a ball. He can change a game in a hurry. Also has a high GPA. Knows the game well, knows how to adjust. Guys like him, you can put the ball in the gap. He can wind up at third base in a hurry. Here is the 1-0 pitch. This one headed towards the gap, but the center fielder, Scott's got a good beat on it, and he makes the catch. Scotty Scott right there with the grab. 2 up, 2 down. Hilton Brown now coming up. Ben Woodchick over at first base. He's an assistant coach. Chance Chapman, the head coach of Reagan, over on the third base side. Also Tate Damasco in the dugout. All relatively new. Great scouting and great spray charts, according to Chance Chapman, who's from Hallettsville. Ball. Chan has been coaching 13 years at Reagan High School. And there's a strike. Also played at East Texas Baptist University. Chance Chapman. This one's outside. Three balls and a strike. Hilton Brown at the plate. Strike two. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Matt Thompson's going to run it all the way over to first. Why not? Why waste your arm? So 3 up, 3 down. You won't see that very often. A 1 unassisted. We've played an inning. We go to the top of the second. Scoreless, or 1-0, Cy Ranch leading Reagan. Back here at the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, umpire Brett Kohler. Jorge Villadiego is over at first. Walt Freeling at second. Rick Curvin at third. Cy Ranch scored in the top of the first inning to take a 1-0 lead. Reagan 3 up, 3 down in the bottom half. Matt Thompson will get things started for Cy Ranch, number 22. He is a junior. He's also the pitcher. 5-0 as a pitcher. 301 average. Senior Brandon Griffin will bat second. Robert Trevino, who's also a senior, will bat third in this inning, and he is the 8th hitter. Reagan Rattlers. A discussion here on the mound. 1-0 Cy Ranch. John Pope was that head coach in 2012 when Cy Ranch won that state championship. School opened, by the way, in 2008. They beat A&M Consolidated. First pitch to Thompson is a strike. Oh, 0-1 pitch to Matt Thompson. Fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes. Thompson batting over 300, just a junior. This one is fouled back. Mentioned earlier, Matt Thompson headed to Texas A&M. And strike three. That'll bring up the second baseman, number 1, Brandon Griffin. So Thompson down on a strikeout looking. Griffin, 342 hitter. This one's outside. Brandon Griffin, kind of known as the Jose Altuve, if you will, of the Cy Ranch Mustangs. That's quite a compliment coming from his head coach. MVP in 2017. This one's hit towards left. And Porter Brown hauls it in for out number 2. Robert Trevino will step up now. He's a designated hitter. Where's number 20? First pitch ball to Trevino. This ball hit towards right. Drifting foul, but no, it's playable. Sanchez grabs it for the 3rd out of the inning. That ball stayed in fair territory. 3 up, 3 down, including a strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Cy Ranch leading San Antonio Reagan 1-0. Bottom of the 2nd inning now. Josh Killeen will step up, headed to Wichita State. 32 runs batted in. Batting .369. This one's high for a ball. And ball 2. Josh Killeen has been hitting the cover off the ball here lately for Reagan. And that catches the inside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to Josh Killeen. Practices like he plays, according to Chance Chapman, his head coach. And high, 3-1. Also plays a little second base. Craig Biggio, while we're throwing out Astros names. He's a team leader. And he will head to first base via the walk. First man on base here for Reagan in the state semifinals, and there will be Jared Shearer will step in to run for Killeen. Remember, catchers and pitchers can have courtesy runners. Jeff Shearer, S-H-E-R-E-R. Sometimes you get a courtesy runner in on the game and you want to throw over there real quick. Make sure he's wide awake, understands what he's getting himself into. Pretty good lead over there. Ball. 1 ball, no strikes. By the way, Shearer is a junior. Also can pitch. Matt Thompson gets the sign, the 1-0 pitch. Skips in for a ball. 2-0 count. Discussion on the mound. Making sure they're on the same page. And the pitch from Thompson. A throw down to first. Getting back safely is Shearer. Again, Thompson, big on the stage, according to his head coach. More focused. One of the best in Houston. Believe it or not, when he plays basketball, he shoots left-handed, but he's a right-handed pitcher. Interesting. This one swung on and hit towards left center. This could be a gapper, and it is beyond the left fielder, Goss. Runner being held over at third. Runners on second and third now. Cal Martin with a double to left center. He got a good piece of that. That ball just kept on floating out as the wind is blowing out to left. But not significantly, but it's carrying well due to the heat. I'd say between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Martin on with a double. Shearer on at third now. Ben Sanchez, number 10 at the plate now. You know, Martin, a .348 hitter, just a junior. Over at second. And there is a strike to Ben Sanchez. Center Court Pizza in San Antonio. We got a little watch party going on over there. I want to shout out to those folks. And here is a strike. Like to have the watch parties when they're watching the NFHS network. Well done. Good opportunity to get together with your friends and family. I'm sure there's some watch parties going on in the Cypress area as well. A ball and 2 strikes. Runners on second and third for Reagan, but they trail 1-0. Sanchez, a senior, batting .214. This one's fouled back. Travis Staley is on deck. Sophomore, quarterback, great relief pitcher, plays shortstop, does it all, great athlete. 1-2 count to Sanchez. Fouls this one back, staying alive. Thompson gets the sign. Foot on the rubber. And a strike 3. So 1 out now. It's exactly what Thompson needed, a strikeout. Travis Staley will bat now. Spelled S-T-H-E-L-E, but pronounced Staley. Quarterback for Reagan. Has made the most of his opportunities. First pitch. Strike on the corner. He can be a starter, closer, loves to hit, plays shortstop. Right about the time they played Lake Travis and eliminated the Cavaliers, he came in as a closer and has been the closer ever since. kind of a leader on the field. Hit towards second. That's going to get through for a single. Slowly hit. Only one run can score, but that is the game-tying single from Travis Staley. The infield was playing in. Staley hit that ball right where it was pitched into right field. And the Rattlers celebrate their first run here in the state semifinals to tie it up at 1. Thompson's thinking, if we were playing back, we might have been able to get an out even at home, or at least the sure out at first. But a ball and a strike here, as Staley will stay in the game and run over at first. Cal Martin is over at third. 1 out. Dalton Brieger. The pitch to Brieger as he's looking bunt and pulls back. Ball. The scoreboard has it 2-1. It should be 1-0. Bunted back towards the pitcher. Thompson tries to make a play at the plate and throws it by the catcher. A run scores, and both runners are going to move up to second and third. And the Rattlers celebrate their second run. Beautiful bunt. Thompson thought he had a play at the plate, but threw it by Lopez. So an error that allows the run to score, and it's 2-1. Reagan on top. Both teams now with an error. And Brieger winds up at second. So a fielder's choice, then the error on the pitcher. Staley all the way to third. So Schurer and Martin have scored in the inning. Staley's at third. Brieger at second. Still just 1 out. The DH, Zane Raba at the plate. He's a sophomore. First pitch to Raba, high for a ball. Raba batting from the left side, and the base hit towards right. 1 run scores. And they're going to hold up the runner here at third as Brieger stays at third. Runners on first and third, and it's now a 3 spot on the board here for the Reagan Rattlers. Three runs, 3 hits, and an error. Brieger at third, Raba at first. We're back to the top of the order. Seth Morrow had that diving attempt in center field earlier, couldn't come up with it as a run scored, and now a chance to maybe answer back with a runner at third. Showing bunt. This is going to bring in a run as he's tagged out, but well done as Reagan now takes a 4-1 lead. Also move the runner over to second. Staley's run was unearned. Brieger unearned. And now the second batter here, Porter Brown. Runner at second, Raba. 0-1 pitch to Porter Brown, fouled back. flew out to center last time. So Morrow, who had struck out, had the beautiful sacrifice bunt to bring in a run. Brown is at the plate now. 0-2 count, swung on, hit towards left center, and it falls in for a hit. Waving the runner home. There's going to be a play at the plate. Safe. Porter Brown driving in a run, and Reagan has exploded here in the second inning. An 0-2 pitch gets too much of the plate, driven out towards left center. And it's now 5-1. Reagan on top. Scherher has scored, Martin has scored, Staley has scored, Brieger has scored, and Raba has scored. Porter Brown is at first. Hilton Brown the batter. Strike on the corner. Josh Colleen, the catcher, got it all started in this inning with a walk. He's on deck. Pop fly towards center. Will this drop? Diving catch by Scott. And that is actually the third out of the inning. Scoreboard had one out, but the third out right here. As look at Scott come running in. Great Scott, great catch. That'll do it, but not before Reagan. 5 runs on 4 hits. There was an error. We go to the third, 5-1. Reagan on top. So a big 5 spot put on the board by Reagan in the bottom of the second inning. A couple of those runs unearned as Cy Ranch will come to bat now. Leading things off, Fabian Mayfield. Where's number 26? A sophomore batting .407. And there's a strike. Mayfield will be followed by the top of the order, Wesley Shields and Scotty Scott. This ball hit towards right and fading into the seats, foul. Mayfield, a sophomore. Coach said he's our Charles Barkley. Powerful. And there's the put out at first. 2-3 on the put out. That'll bring up the top of the order, Wesley Shields, who walked and scored back in the first inning. headed to Blinn Junior College. He was 2 for 4 and had 3 runs batted in against Cypress in game 3, I might add, in that regional final. 2-0 now, 2 balls, no strikes. And there's a strike. 2-1 now. Scotty Scott on deck. Colton Cowser, who had a double back in the first, would follow. Up the middle, base hit. Scotty Scott, gotta love that name. Drills a single to first, up the middle, he's on at first. That was Wesley Shields, now Scotty Scott. Scotty Scott going to Hawaii. Throw over to first. Back in time is Shields. So Shields is on board twice now with a walk, scored, now a single with 1 out. Scotty Scott at the plate. Had the sacrifice bunt back in the first inning. Batting .302. Senior. Carver out of the windup and fouled back. A ball and a strike. You might notice when Carver gets set up on the mound, he starts off and that right foot of his is basically right there heading towards home, and then in the windup moves it over towards first. Really keeps those runners honest over there. This one's hit towards left. Can of corn out there for Porter. Out number 2. That'll bring up Colton Cowser. The Sam Houston State had a double, .414 hitter from the senior. Another great leader on this squad. The typical first one here, last one to leave is what coach was telling us. Couple home runs, 37 runs batted in this year. Strike, no balls, 1 strike. All-state player. Called up from JV as a sophomore. Ball gets away, and heading over to second base is Shields. So a ball and a strike. Shields is now at second. Colton Cowser with a 1-1 count. He's got some good size to him, as you can see. Lively Cy Ranch crowd, making all kind of noise. Both sides pretty lively. 1 ball, 1 strike. And there's strike 2. Jared Alvarez Lopez on deck. Runner on second, 2 outs, 1-2 pitch. Swung on, hit towards first. A routine play as the first baseman Cal Martin steps on the bag. So a single is stranded at second in Wesley Shields. We go to the bottom of the third. Reagan leading 5-1. Josh Colleen will get things started for Reagan. He walked in his last at bat, led off that big second inning. He scored, as did Martin, Staley, Brieger, Raba. Big inning for Reagan as they lead 5-1. Ball skips in. Josh Colleen, great all-around player here for Reagan. It's been hot in the playoffs. There's a strike. 369 hitter, a senior, a catcher. And there's a strike. Big cut. Strike three swinging. As Colleen goes down, Cal Martin will step up now. Alec Caven was getting some playing time when Josh Colleen went down earlier in the year. He might get some playing time later, but right now the batter is Cal Martin. And this one's fouled off. 348 hitter, junior. Had a double last time up and scored. Outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cal Martin. And the 2-1 pitch, big cut. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cal Martin, a junior. This one swung on, hit down the line, it's fair. Martin's thinking double. As he heads into second, ball comes back in. That was a rope to second for the 6'3", 190-pound junior. Back in 2016, he was the lone freshman to travel with the varsity. He was part of that runner-up squad last year, and he was a state tournament, all-tournament team player. Plays a little basketball, golf, baseball, good all-around player. He's at second. That'll bring up Ben Sanchez. So Martin with a pair of doubles in this game so far. There's the ball. Sanchez struck out last time. 6 foot, 175 pounds. Western Texas college signee. Swinging at this pitch. That ball was skipping in the dirt. Chance Chapman letting him know if it hits the ground, you probably shouldn't swing at it. The senior swings at strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes. His favorite quote is, "A lifetime of glory is worth a moment of pain." Louis Zampanini. Strike 3. So Sanchez strikes out for the second time. That'll bring up Travis Staley. He had a single and scored in the 5-run second inning. Runner on second. The pitch inside to Staley, ball 1. Football letterman, University of Texas baseball commit. Longhorns playing Tennessee Tech over at UFCU Disch-Falk Field this weekend, trying to make it to the College World Series. 1-0 pitch outside to Staley. Staley crowding the plate. A bit of an open stance. 2-0 pitch. Outside, skips around. Nice job keeping it in front of him is Lopez. Reagan up 5-1. They've out hit Cy Ranch 5-2. Both teams have committed an error. And it's a 3-0 count to Staley. Outside, low, ball 4. And that's got Cy Ranch looking towards their bullpen. They've got a man up. So we might get a pitching change here, and we will. There's a look at our new pitcher coming on for Cypress Ranch. Number 14, Ty Madden. Mentioned him earlier. Drafted by the Kansas City Royals. Texas Longhorn commit, has a decision to make, but right now his focus right here on the mound at the Dell Diamond. Madden, a 9-2 record. Good fastball. You know, if he was drafted by the Royals, he's got to be pretty good. Only player in 6A here drafted by a major league club. In fact, only player, period, on this field. So Madden, a righty, throws some gas. So he wears number 14. Ty Madden. Kansas City Royals drafted him. The Royals have, like the Astros, have done really well with their draft picks over the last 4 or 5 years. Madden, a right-handed pitcher, 6'4", 200 pounds, committed to Texas. His head coach, Corey Cephas, saying he's our Nolan Ryan. He's country strong. From an Aggie to a Longhorn, Matt Thompson leaves the game, allowing 5 runs, a couple unearned. Ty Madden comes in, perhaps headed to Texas, if not the Kansas City Royals organization. Drafted 34th, by the way, 34th. Madden looks like he's ready to go. Quick chat with his catcher, Lopez. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Got to the point basically where Corey Cephas said enough. When you're already trailing 5-1, you can't afford to walk anybody. And the walk to Staley was the undoing for Thompson. 105 strikeouts, broke the school record. Madden did at Cy Ranch. Ball comes out of the catcher's glove, but no chance to move up. Runners on first and second. Dalton Brieger at the plate. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored. Saint Raba on deck, low. Brieger officially 0 for 0.
Here's a strike.
5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 1 left for Reagan. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left so far for Cy Ranch as we play here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Reagan up 5-1. Ball hit towards right. It's a bloop, and that should be the 3rd out, and it is. Nice play by the first baseman, Mayfield, to end the inning. A hit, a couple of strikeouts. Matt Thompson leaves the game. Ty Madden comes in. We now move to the top of the 4th inning. Reagan leading it 5-1.
Yo, yo, yo.
Top of the 4th here. Reagan with a 5 spot in that 2nd inning. 5 runs, 5 hits, and an error, 3 left. Cy Ranch, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left. Ted Emmerich joining us now. Ted and I will be a part of the broadcast for Class 6A on Fox Sports Southwest tomorrow. Glad to have you along, Ted. And big inning there for Reagan to put that 5 spot on the board, and already now we've seen, of course, Cy Ranch having to go to Ty Madden, the gentleman who was picked up by the Kansas City Royals, but obviously drafted by the Royals, still has a decision to make. Could still go to University of Texas. We'll see.
I'd say this is about as unexpected a result as you would find up to this point. Yes, Reagan ranked number 2 in the state, entering this state tournament, Jeff, but to be able to get to Matt Thompson so early and manufacturing offense like they did, awfully impressive.
Cy Ranch, number 23 here at the plate, Jared Alvarez Lopez. A ball and 2 strikes. Struck out back in the 1st inning. Batting .359, and up and down this lineup, 300 hitters. Everybody on this Cy Ranch team batting well over 300. They've got a lot of offense, so you know they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination as we play here in the top of the 4th. But Carver has been kind of carving things up. I'll use his name as a reference there. He is 11-1, headed to Wichita State, and that left-handed arm of his has been kind of giving Cy Ranch fits here so far. 2-2 pitch, high for ball 3.
A veteran, 27 wins over the last 2 years, Jeff, a school record in that department. And he's not going to blow anything by you, and yet, as his coach Chance Chapman always says, he knows how to pitch.
This one's fouled back. The count remains 3-2. Good crowd here. Both these teams very familiar with playing here at the Dell Diamond. Of course, the 3rd appearance for Reagan alluded to the fact that they got to the championship game a couple of times, but have not tasted that sweet victory. 3-2. Inside for ball 4, and that's what you don't want to do. You're up 5-1. You don't want to walk the leadoff batter. That usually comes back to haunt you as Jared Alvarez Lopez is on, and I think we'll get a courtesy runner here for the catcher. As a reminder, courtesy runners for catchers and pitchers.
You know, with Carver, Jeff, the other part, remember his outing in the state championship game a year ago when Reagan lost to Deer Park. Carver going 5 innings, allowing 6 earned runs on 8 hits. That performance, not just for him, but everyone else who was on this team a year ago, they have used that as motivation, as fuel all season long, and here they are back in the state tournament in round 1.
Colton Owen, he is over at first. as the courtesy runner. Ty Williams swung on, hit towards right. Sanchez has got a bead on it, looking into that sun and makes the catch. Probably the only spot on the entire field where the sun was still shining, and doing a nice job hauling it in right there from Sanchez. That can be a factor in these games that start around 7. As you see, just kind of can of corn, but you don't want to call it that when that sun is right in your eyes.
And it's certainly going to be a factor tomorrow with the 4 o'clock first pitch in the state championship game on Fox Sports Southwest.
Matt Thompson, now a chance to maybe make up for the outing that I'm sure he feels he could have done a little better on the mound. But ground ball up the middle, over to second, Krieger. And a 4-6-3 double play. Just like that, Reagan gets out of the inning. So Thompson grounds out to the 4-6-3. The walk doesn't mount to anything as we now go to the bottom of the 4th inning with Reagan leading 5-1. Stick around, Ted. We'll be back with much more here on the NFHS Network. Bottom of the 4th inning here. Reagan leading it 5-1, looking for some insurance. We've talked about how Cy Ranch has such a star-studded lineup. Going to be kind of hard to keep them in check with just one run throughout. But I tell you what, the way Carver's pitching, who knows? But on the mound now, Ty Madden once again, the Nolan Ryan of the staff, if you will, according to their head coach. Country strong, Corey Cypress. You know, Corey actually coached over there at Langham Creek back in 2012. They won the district title, and Cy Ranch finished second, and Cy Ranch went on to win the state championship. Interesting enough, this year, Cy Ranch finishing second in district. Cy Fair knocked them out in the regional final. Coach thinking there could be some karma there. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch here, strike to Zane Raba. 1-1.
Madden throws a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. And Corey Cephas says when that changeup is working for Madden, he becomes unfair. Future Texas Longhorn.
And there's a strike on the inside part of the plate. So a ball and 2 strikes to Zane Raba, the DH. He had a single back in the 2nd inning and scored. The Reagan Rattlers out of San Antonio. 1-2 pitch, ball low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had to defeat Churchill in the regional final. As I mentioned earlier, beat Vandergrift twice, Northside Clark. Took 2 from Lake Travis, 2 out of 3 from Laredo Alexander. That was down in the Corpus Christi area. And there is strike 3. And then beat Churchill twice in front of huge crowds. 2-0 twice as Raba goes down swinging. That'll bring us back to the top of the order and Seth Morrow. He had the strikeout to lead things off, and then the sacrifice bunt that actually allowed a run to score and moved the runner over. And here's a ground ball to first, sharply hit, right to Mayfield. He flags off his pitcher for out number 2.
You mentioned this Reagan run in the postseason, Jeff. Go back to the start of the year. They lost their first game of the season to Katy Seven Lakes, 11-2, part of that Katy tournament. They went 3-3 in that event in 6 games, and they are 34-3 since. Just remarkable.
Tough district, too. It took till literally the last week to settle that district. And interesting enough, the Rattlers lost to Johnson High School in San Antonio, kind of one of their nemesis. You know, Johnson had reached the state final here a couple years ago. Reagan, of course, last year. And a big cut right there from Porter Brown.
I like this, a future Big 12 battle. Ty
Yeah.
Madden going to Texas, Porter Brown headed to TCU.
Yeah, Porter Brown's a good one, no doubt about it. He's got great speed, plays left field well. This one's hit slicing away from the center fielder. Thompson cannot run it down. Now we're going to see that speed. Porter rounding second. He's trying for third. The throw into third, and he's going to slide in head first. Chance Chapman was on his knees. The head coach of Reagan, I'm not sure he wanted him to come into third, but Porter saying, hey, come on, coach, there's 2 outs.
And Chance Chapman, Jeff, said earlier this week that Porter Brown is one of the fastest kids he has ever seen. Check him out, blazing on the base paths here.
Well, the first thing I noticed is that ball was tailing away from the center fielder, and it literally just got out of the reach of Thompson's hands. Remember, Thompson started the game at pitcher. And there's Porter sliding in head first. Ball 1 here to Hilton Brown. Hilton's his brother, the bat boy. He's one of the big team leaders, if you will. Fires up this team. I think it's cool when you can allow, like, one of the varsity kids gets his little younger brother out there, and you see him out there shagging balls and taking batting practice. Why not? 2-0 count here to Hilton Brown. This one swung on, hit towards center. Thompson under this one. So Porter Brown stranded at third, but we did get to see that speed on display. So things have kind of settled down since that second inning. Couple of shutout innings for both teams since, as we go to the top of the 5th. It's 5-1, Reagan leading. Top of the 5th inning here. Cypress Ranch coming to bat. 1 run, 2 hits, and an error. Reagan, 5 runs, 6 hits, an error. 4 left for them, by the way. A lot of traffic on the base paths. But, you know, you get this feeling, Ted, that if you're Reagan, you don't want to leave Cy Ranch kind of hanging around here within 4. There was a feeling in the last game we had. South Lake Carroll had the big 2-run hit to take a 3-1 lead, but anytime you bring a tying run to the plate, it always gets you a little nervous, you know.
And a couple of series ago in the regional semifinals, Cy Ranch was down 7-5 in the 5th inning against Atascocita. 2-run deficit compared to a 4-run deficit here, but Cy Ranch was able to rally, win that game, force a game 3. They were able to advance. Cy Ranch has put together comeback after comeback in this postseason.
This is Brandon Griffin, 342 hitter, senior. You want to lean on your seniors at this point if you're Cy Ranch. They do have a lot of seniors, and the motto is hard work. I'm sure those seniors know how to demonstrate that hard work coming out of Region 3. 1-0 pitch, and there's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What a great story Griffin is. Moved from California before the season. His house burned down due to the wildfires. Dad got a job in Houston, moved the family. Griffin settled in at Cy Ranch.
Great area there in the Houston area. My sister, her kids went to Cy Ranch High School. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on, strike 3. And if you're Cal Carver, that's how you want to get the inning started, unlike last inning where he started off with a walk.
Cal Carver is puzzling the Mustangs hitters right now. That off-speed stuff is just nasty.
Robert Trevino now will bat. Flew out to right last time. He's a .327 hitter. And a quick discussion, not sure what that's all about. But it is Trevino batting. Wanted to make sure there wasn't maybe a switch or something here. But
we do have birds in the outfield, Jeff. About a dozen birds have made their way to left center and are camping out.
I see that.
In between Porter Brown and Seth Morris.
Not sure if that's a sign or what. And there's a strike. Thing that comes to mind with Trevino, not only a good hitter, but they've got good hitters at the bottom of this order too. There's the ball inside for 2 balls and a strike. And anytime you get that kind of offense down there on the bottom part of your order, that's a good thing. Because we know they got it at the top. Outside.
And doesn't it seem like that everyone on the Cy Ranch roster is going to play college baseball? 17 players committed or signed to play at the next level, and Trevino is one of them.
And he thought it was ball 4, and it is. Had to double check there.
Trevino headed to Frontier Community College in Fairfield, Illinois.
There you go. I was going to ask you where that was.
Had to look it up, I'll be honest.
And him walking's a big thing too. He's one of those players that's got some good speed. Now the batter, Fabian Mayfield, a sophomore, batting over 400. Off-speed pitch. That's a ball. Mayfield sporting number 26. Got some big hitters who wear 20, 22, 26. High numbers for baseball. Throw over to first.
Mayfield battled an injury early in the year, came back, and as a sophomore won the job at first base. He's been a rock there here in the playoffs.
Coach referred to him as their Charles Barkley. Is that the younger Charles Barkley?
Yeah.
I'm guessing?
I like Corey Sevis's comparisons. You mentioned what he said about Ty Madden earlier this week, that he was our Nolan Ryan, Cy Ranch's Nolan Ryan, and he compared Mayfield to Barkley, how stout he is.
I think Barkley would take that as a compliment.
Who knows about Mayfield's golf swing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the question.
Maybe that's the comparison. Fabian Mayfield here at the plate, over 400. I like Carver's move to first. He's already got that kind of an unusual windup where you notice when he gets the strike here, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He'll start off and that right foot of his is facing home plate as you would expect. But as he goes into his windup, watch that right foot as it inches over towards first. Kind of keeps the runners honest over there. 1-2 pitch. Down low, outside. 2-2 now.
Nice move, much like we saw from Stephen Beard of the Woodlands in the first semifinal here in Class 6A.
So 2-2 pitch now. Pretty good lead over at first. High, now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Don't forget the 6A final will be on Fox Sports Southwest tomorrow. South Lake Carroll will play the winner of this game. And boy, doesn't South Lake Carroll pass the eye test. Big players, look like they half of them already in college.
Number 1 in the state for a reason.
3-2 pitch. Strike 3, that's a big strikeout right there. Strikeout swinging. That is the 4th K.
And I like Carver challenging with the fastball in the payoff pitch. He tried to locate that curveball. It sailed away from him, came back with the fastball. He's going to top out at 86, but he was able to locate that so well.
Definitely got some heat when he needs it, but loves to mix things up. And being a left-handed pitcher helps him out as well. It's always a big plus. Wesley Shields, who's reached base twice via the walk and a single at the plate now. And if you're Cy Ranch, you're thinking, we've got to do something now. Got a runner on base. They have not done well once they've gotten runners on. Stranded a couple, but in the last couple of innings, they had runners on base early in the inning and haven't been able to move them around the base paths. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to third. And it should be a 5-3 putout, and it is, as Brown to Martin. Ted Emmerich, hang around one more half inning here. We'll talk more about our Fox Sports Southwest broadcast as Reagan leading at 5-1 here on the NFHS Network. Glad to have you along here. We'll be right back with much more. NFHS Network, Class 6A state semifinals. Jeff Power alongside Ted Emmerich. Glad to have you along here, Ted. Ted and I will be a part of the broadcast on Fox Sports Southwest coming up at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And that game, barring any kind of strangeness, should start right at 4 o'clock.
But we will be on the air no matter
Exactly.
what at 4 o'clock with a couple of state championship games preceding the 6A final.
Yeah, we'll have the 3A final at 9 on the NFHS Network. Also at noon, the 5A final, and then coming up at 4, catch the 6A championship, and it should be a good one. This is Josh Colleen at the plate. Colleen has been a pleasant surprise for Reagan, especially down the stretch of the season. The catcher batting cleanup, walked and scored back in the second, struck out in his next at bat in the third. Here we are in the bottom of the 5th inning with Reagan leading at 5-1. Both pitchers have kind of settled in here. Madden, of course, did not get the start, but he's looked good since he's come on. Starting to see why the Royals drafted him pretty high there.
And if Ty Madden had shown any kind of willingness to sign at the pro level, he would have been drafted earlier than the 34th round.
That's a good point, because he is a verbal commitment to the University of Texas. But he leads off here with a walk as Josh Colleen is on board. I think we'll probably get a courtesy runner since he's the catcher, and that is the case. So that'll be Jared Schurer. Remember, Schurer scored earlier as he was the courtesy runner the last time Colleen walked. And if you're Reagan, you're thinking, hey, we'd like to duplicate the way that inning kind of wound up back in the second.
Another 5 spot would be nice for Reagan.
You know, I was over at UFCU Dish-Falk Field, and I tell you what, Argyle, I mean, for basically 5 innings, couldn't do anything. Then put a 5 spot on the board over there as a throw down to first. And they beat Sweeney and won the state championship in 4A. And if you think about it, you know, Argyle, South Lake Carroll, they're like neighbors. Those kids end up playing some Little League ball together.
Oh, no question. In the summer, too, as they get older.
Cal Martin with a base hit to left. So 2 on, nobody out here as Schurer heads over to second. And Ben Sanchez now will come up.
How about the game Cal Martin is putting together? Couple of doubles, now a single. Whether it's Matt Thompson, a future Texas A&M Aggie, or now Ty Madden, the future Texas Longhorn, Cal Martin is getting on base every time.
Houston Brown, the bat boy, getting some airtime there as he came across to pick up the bat. Was hanging around the plate there for a moment. Surprised he didn't do the dab or something. 2 on. First pitch here, bunt by Sanchez. Play at third. Madden gets it in there in time. Wow. That's when having that rifle arm pays off. One more time. Let's look at this, Ted.
Check out Ty Williams was able to scoot back to third, realizing what Madden was going to do, and the stretch by Williams on top of that velocity from Madden,
and
getting
Madden
the out.
Slipped. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Madden slipped as he was throwing it to third. But he gets the out at third, most importantly. So 1-5 there, and runners on first and second. So Shearer out at third. Travis Staley at the plate, the quarterback, if you will. Just a sophomore. Amazing that in a 6A school, you know, really playing since a freshman, not only quarterback, but really has become kind of the closer, if you will, for Reagan. And he's getting a chance to play short here today, but I've seen him in that closer role a lot in the offseason, especially in the series against Lake Travis, where he closed out a couple of games. And that was a big win for them because Lake Travis came in. At one point, Lake Travis was undefeated. They were 25-0. #1 in the nation, according to Max Prep Sports at that time. And, you know, Reagan was a team that started the season #1 in the state of Texas, and then got off to that rough start like you talked about and kind of fell back a little bit. But when it was all said and done, South Lake Carroll was the #1 regular season team, and Reagan was #2 right behind him. 2-1 count now with runners on first and second. And I tell you, if you're Reagan, you really want to add to this lead. And if you're Cy Ranch, you've got to find a way to keep Reagan off the board from here on out. Madden low on this pitch.
Now, Staley, you mentioned the word quarterback. According to Chance Chapman, his head coach, the quarterback of the infield when he does play shortstop. And he is the quarterback of the football team that went 9-3 last fall.
He's a leader. 3-1 pitch, there's a strike. Staley, who had a single and scored in the second, he did walk in his last at bat. Trying to get on board here.
Let's see if Madden tries to blow it by Staley here in the full count.
Ground ball up the middle. Could be two. Over to first. Double play. The pitcher's best friend, and you know Madden loves that. They needed that double play right there. As one more time, let's take a look. The ground ball up the middle. The old 6-4-3. Pitcher's best friend, no doubt about it. And Staley's got some decent speed, but they were able to turn that quickly, Ted.
Beautifully executed. Jeff, looking forward to tomorrow, the 6A state championship game on Fox Sports Southwest, 4 o'clock. Check it out. Thanks, Jeff.
All right, Ted, appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow. Reagan still on top here, leading it 5-1. We'll take a quick timeout here on the NFHS Network. We go to the top of the 6th with Reagan up by 4. Scotty Scott will get things started for Cy Ranch here in the top of the 6th inning. Reagan leads at 5-1. Jeff Power, NFHS Network. Be sure to check out a replay of all of the state championship games on the NFHS Network. Best $10 you'll spend, I promise. Ball one, strike one now. Scotty Scott heading to Hawaii. This one's outside. Colton Kauser on deck. Jared Alvarez Lopez to bat third in this 6th inning. 2-1 pitch from Cal Carver. And there's a gapper, right center. Oh, Everett did go ahead and make the play out there. Sanchez, nice job backhanding it. Thought that ball was hit a little bit harder, but that grass kind of slowed it down just a little bit. And the speed on top of that by Sanchez, holding Scott over at first. That'll bring up Colton Kauser, Sam Houston State University verbal commit, 414 hitter. He had a double back in the 1st inning, but was stranded. 3rd inning, grounded out to the first baseman, unassisted. And there's a strike to Kauser. Ryan Express train going by. Sometimes that could be the rally train, as some say. No balls, 1 strike to Colton Kauser. Runner on first. Pretty good lead over there by the Hawaii commit. This one's fouled off. And Scotty Scott over at first. That name just rolls off the tongue. Jared Alvarez Lopez on deck. Colton Kauser at the plate. 3-4 hitters here for Cy Ranch. You got to feel like they need to score a couple runs in this inning if they want to get back in it. Down 5-1. You don't want to put all that pressure on yourself in the 7th inning at the bottom of the order. 0-2 pitch here from Cal Carver. Swung on, hit towards right. Sanchez over, makes the catch. And heading back over to first base is Scotty Scott. So Kauser flies out to right. That'll bring up Jared Alvarez Lopez, the catcher. He struck out back in the 1st, walked in the 4th. Ty Williams would be on deck. Lopez batting .359. Swings from the right side. Steps out of the batter's box, wants a timeout. Jared Alvarez Lopez. Going to McNeese State. Handles the pitching staff really well here for Cypress Ranch, but an opportunity to get a big hit. Can pitch if need be. They need him as a hitter right now. High, ball 1. He's a confident player. 5'11", 190-pound junior. Going to go to Lake Charles and play for McNeese State. This one's outside. Part of the Southland Conference. Good baseball there. .20 pitch from Carver. There's strike 1. 2-1 now. Carver allowed the run in the 1st. He's thrown up 4 zeros since. In the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We play here in the top of the 6th inning. Reagan on top, 5-1. Runner going. Hit and run as this one's fouled off. Carver gets a new baseball. It's really stymied the Cy Ranch hitters. 2-2 pitch. 1 out to Jared Alvarez Lopez, who walked in his last at bat. Down low. 3-2. Hauser flew out to right after Scotty Scott singled. Jared Alvarez Lopez at the plate. 3-2 pitch, ball 4. So Scotty Scott is over at second. Jared Alvarez Lopez will have a courtesy runner since he's the catcher. Chance Chapman wants to talk things over real quick. That courtesy runner, by the way, for Cypress Ranch, number 11, Colton Owen. So quick discussion with runners on first and second. I think Chance kind of wants to take the temperature right now of Cal Carver and say basically, look, how do you feel? Got some guys in the bullpen that can help us out. You don't have to do it all. He's going to leave them in there. You've been coaching as long as Chapman is, not to mention the fact that he's got a relative down at Cal Allen with over 1,000 victories. Good coaching pedigree. Ty Williams at the plate. Grounded into a 4-6-3 double play last time. Struck out in his first at bat. He's on deck. Matt Thompson was going to ground to the double play. Ty Williams at the plate. One ball, no strikes. Carver out of the stretch. The pitch to Williams. Runner running. Over to third, and he's out of there. Scotty Scott thrown out at third. Watch this. If the throw didn't beat him here, which I think he might have been out right there, he gets him on the extra opportunity as Scotty Scott slid by the bag. So with a runner at second, and that is the courtesy runner Owen. Quick discussion right here is that's a big out at second. Or at third, I should say. A big run sitting over at second. Carver with 2 outs now. Not sure what the discussion here from Chance Chapman. He's going to come over and talk to the entire crew, which I always think is a good idea. Brett Kohler, the home plate umpire, Jorge Villadiego at first, Walt Freeling at second, Rick Kervin at third. They've done a great job here. TASO should be proud. They've got great officials here at both sites, not only here at the Dell Diamond, but also at UFCU Dish-Falk Field. Key moment of the game right here, going through the meat of the order of Cy Ranch. They've got a runner at second. They gambled with the double steal, and it did not pay off for them. But they've got Ty Williams still at the plate with a 1-0 count. There's 2 outs. A ball, no strikes to Ty Williams. Matt Thompson on deck. Strike just below the knee. As a pitcher, you love it when you get that low strike. You can do so much more by keeping the ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carver looking back the runner. This one hit foul. 1-2 count now. Owen at second. He's got speed. With 2 outs, you know he'll score with a single. Reagan up 5-1. They about hit Cy Ranch 7-3. 1-2 pitch. Close, but no cigar. Carver was headed towards the dugout. He'll have to go back. 2-2. Deuce is wild. Check that. 3-2. Now I think I know why Chance was up earlier. He's wanting to make sure that he was aware of what the count was, because the scoreboard operator was off there. It's now 3-2. Fouled back. Count remains 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Owen at second. Ty Williams at the plate. He's over 2. The pitch. Ground ball towards short. It's going to be a tough play for Staley over to first. And out! That was close. I want to see that again before we go to break. Here's the look at first. Oh boy. That'll do it for the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with Reagan leading it 5-1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Reagan comes to bat, leading at 5-1. They've out hit Cy Ranch 7-3. Reagan has left 5 runners on base. The Mustangs have left 4. I know Williams thought he was safe on that last play. It was close, no doubt about it. Reagan will come to bat here now. Dalton Brieger will get things started. Where's number 3? He's had a good game here in the field. Part of a couple of double plays, and he did score, reaching on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. Reagan has done well in the semifinals here in San Antonio. No problem there. They just haven't been able to finish the deal off and win a championship. And they're going to, if they do get to the championship game against South Lake Carroll, they're going to have their hands full. Either one of these teams. Carroll loaded number 1 in the state when the regular season ended, and no reason to think Carroll's not the number 1 team now, since they've won basically 13 in a row. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 low. Brieger walks. Zane Raba will come up to the plate now. Again, if you're Reagan, you're wanting to add some insurance to this 5-1 lead. They haven't really done anything since the 2nd inning. They've been shut out with 3 consecutive innings. As we play here now in the bottom of the 6th. 5-1, Reagan on top with that big 5 spot in the second inning. Bunt towards first. He's going to have to tag the runner. Ball comes out, safe. That's one of the risks of trying to tag the runner, because the ball can come loose. Let's take a look at this one more time. Mayfield making the play. He's got the hand on the ball, but it comes out. Zane Raba, I mean, that's an old Pete Rose play right there. You're allowed to do that, no doubt. And he's on base. And now the umpires are going to discuss this. I think they want to just double check. Make sure everybody is on the same page here. So before we make any kind of ruling, let's hear what the umpires have to say here. Wasn't out of the base path. Maybe we can take a look at it one more time. Definitely discussing this situation. You see 2 there in your shot as well. Wesley Shields. One more time. I mean, in the base path, ball comes out. I'm thinking safe. And that is the ruling. So runners on first and third here for Reagan. That's why you probably just want to go ahead and touch the bag right there if you can, or keep your hand on that ball in your glove and make sure it doesn't come out. Easier said than done, of course. So Raba is on at first, and it'll be a fielding error by the first baseman. So E3 if you're scoring. There's also a sacrifice as Brieger advanced to third. Inside here to Seth Morrow, and nobody out. Morrow's thinking, even if I ground into a double play or something, we can get a run here. Morrow did have a sacrifice back in the second. Here he is laying one down. A throw down to third, out! Wow, what a big play, as Madden once again throws a runner out at third base. So Brieger leaning off a little bit too much. He started to break, came back. Madden taking a chance, throws down to first. Wow, that was a close bang-bang play, but you got to credit Madden for having the guts to go over there in the first place. Big out. That's one out. Runners on first and second. Now he can get a force at first, second, or third. So Morrow reaches on the fielder's choice bunt. Brieger out at third. Raba it's at second. Foul back. Porter Brown at the plate. Flew out to center in the first, had a single in the second, and a triple in the fourth, but was stranded both times. Ground ball towards second. Could be 2. A bobble. Only one play. They had a chance to go for 2, but the second baseman, Griffin, kind of bobbled that ball as Brandon Griffin wishes he had that one back. But he did get the sure out at second. Raba over at third now. Porter Brown at first. First pitch here to Hilton Brown, number 9. And that's a ball. So Raba is at third. There's now 2 outs. Still 5-1 Reagan. Ground ball towards third. It's a slow roller. You're going to have to make a quick play over to first. Out! Maybe some justice right there. That was another bang-bang play and another out ruling. Let's see this. Almost identical to the way the top of the inning, the bottom of the inning last time. Excuse me, the top of that sixth. So we do go to the top of the seventh now, and it's still 5-1. Reagan leading Cy Ranch, despite the fact that Reagan was able to get a couple runners on with no one out. They strand a couple, and we will go to the top of the seventh with Reagan still leading by 4. Top of the seventh inning now. Reagan leading 5-1. 3 outs away from playing South Lake Carroll in the Class 6A championship game on Fox Sports Southwest tomorrow at 4. Glad to have you along here on the NFHS Network. NFHS Network, your home for your high school championships in the state of Texas and all over the country for that matter. Now batting here for Cypress Ranch, Matt Thompson. He grounded into that double play and struck out back in the second. The double play in the fourth was a killer. Thompson trying to make up for that. Batting around 300 as we start here in the seventh inning. Carver has gone the distance for Reagan. Ball 1. This one's fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carver works quickly, no doubt about it. He has an 11-1 record. Brown in left, Morrow in center, Sanchez in right. A good outfield for Reagan. They've got good arms and good speed out there. If you're Matt Thompson, you want to challenge them. Put this ball in the gap. 2-1 pitch, hitters count. Here's the pitch. And it is going towards the gap, but running it down is Morrow. Out number 1. Just a big loud out to center. That ball was tailing, but Morrow quickly got underneath it as he was centered. Didn't take long for him to get over. 375 to left center. 407 at the furthest point, and both close to left and right center. But it's 400 to due center, but in high school, you got the yellow line. There's a shed up there, and that shed has been hit. And there was a time here at the Dell Diamond where it had to be up there to be a home run. Not the case this year. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out as Brandon Griffin bats here. He's 0 for 2. One pitch. The bunt. The play by the catcher. Over to first. 2 outs. What a play as Josh Colleen got up out of that catcher position, picked up the ball, and just threw a strike to first. 2 outs. It's up to Robert Trevino. And there's a strike. Trevino 0 for 1. Fly out to right, and he walks. 0-1 pitch. This one's headed towards right. But the outfielder, Sanchez, has got it. And the Reagan Rattlers are headed to the 6A state championship game with a 5-1 victory. 3 up, 3 down. Carver goes the distance, allowing 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors, 4 left on base. Reagan with 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 7 left on. They will battle South Lake Carroll for the 6A championship game. That game at 4 p.m. on Fox Sports Southwest. Don't forget, you can catch the 3A final. I'll be on the call on that one here on the NFHS Network at 9 a.m. And then at noon, we'll have the 5A championship. We've got action for you on Saturday here on the NFHS Network. We'll catch you tomorrow morning bright and early at 9. Until then, we bid you a farewell from here at the Dell Diamond in Round Rock.